Hello everyone, my name is Patsanan Mongkon Chotipat. I am from year 6B and today I am going to read a story, Little Red Riding Hood. So let's start! Once upon a time there was a sweet little girl called Little Red Riding Hood. But one day her mother told her that her grandmother was sick, so she must bring some food and drinks for her. Before Little Red Riding Hood was to leave the house, her mother told her that, Little Red Riding Hood, when you go, you should always be careful and do not talk to strangers, and then you should come back quickly, okay? So the Little Red Riding Hood said, Okay, Mother, I will be very careful. When Little Red Riding Hood reaches the forest, she saw so many flowers on both sides. So she thought to herself that, if I bring these flowers to my grandmother, she'll be very happy, so she picked a lot of flowers. When the Little Red Riding Hood finished picking up these flowers, the wolf came to her and said, Little Red Riding Hood, where you go with lots of things? So the Little Red Riding Hood said, Oh, I'm going to my grandmother's house because she is sick, so I bring her lots of things. Then the wolf wanted to trick her, so he said, Little Red Riding Hood, if you go this way, it will be sooner to get to grandmother's house. Then he tricked her and he ran to grandmother's house. And when the wolf arrived at the grandmother's house, he got inside and took the grandmother and shut her in a wardrobe. Ooh, so scary. When Little Red Riding Hood arrived, she's so surprised that her grandmother has changed. So she asked her, Grandmother, what big eyes you got? All better to see you. Grandmother, what big ears you got? All better to hear you. Grandmother, what a big mouth and sharp teeth you got. All better to eat you. Then the wolf jumped out of the bed and he wanted to eat the Little Red Riding Hood. So she shouted, Help! Help! And ran all the way. Suddenly, the hunters heard the crying and shouting, so they got inside the house and they threw the wolf out of the house and he ran away forever. So Little Red Riding Hood ran to the wardrobe to free her grandmother. What a big hug they gave each other after the shock they had. When everything was over, her grandmother wanted to thank the hunters for saving her. Then they had a dinner together, and the hunters said that they have never tasted such a delicious dinner before. Before leaving, Little Red Riding Hood said to her grandmother and promised that she will never talk to strangers and she will always be careful when she walked in the forest. And her grandmother smiled and they said goodbye to each other. So it's the end of this story, and the story teaches that when we go to other places alone or with the family, we shouldn't talk to strangers and we should always be very careful. Thank you for watching me. Bye!